Guys, I was just sitting here thinking how much I want to miss these cabinets when I leave. I worked I didn't work. Nico worked so hard to get these cabinets done, and we just sold the house. I'm kind of sad. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the CJRB Maileah. It's been a long day. This is the third video I've filmed today. So at any rate, that's what we're going to talk about today. So just a quick heads up. If you're watching on headphones, turn down the volume because here comes some music. So this knife came into me from Russell over at CJRB and Artisan. This is the CJRB Maileah. It was developed by Swags. You know Swags, she used to work at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I don't know too much about her. I've kind of texted back and forth with her on DM on Instagram a couple times. But I mean, I don't really follow her or know that much about her. I just do know that she designed this knife. And it's not a bad little knife. It's another one of those knives that just because of the sheer weirdness of the size of my hands makes it kind of a no-go for me. And there's another issue that I have with it just because I'm the size I am. I'm a big guy. So we're going to get into that. So we'll get some size, we'll get some specs, we'll do some comparisons. This is going to be fun because this is a little knife. Don't get me wrong, this is a great little knife. It's great for a lot of things. But it just, yeah, we'll get some comparisons to some of my other stuff. So yeah, guys, give me a minute or two here. I'll get the scale, I'll get all my stuff, I'll get the specs and everything, and I'll meet you guys down at the blue microfiber on the counter momentarily. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this is the CJRB Maileah. The one that I have is in black G10 with the red thumb studs, the red pivot color. Now, I'm gonna let you know there's a couple different colors, but they're each one a little bit different. So there's a red micarta, or I'm sorry, a red G10 that has a black pivot color and red hardware. I don't remember what color the thumb studs are. I believe they're red, if I remember right. And then there is a natural one that has a red pivot collar and then looks like polished pivot. And then this one, which is the black with red and then black. And I have to admit that the little bit of color on that just makes it pop. It really does. It's a much better presentation. So let's go ahead, let's get into some specs. So what are we looking at here? We are looking at a very small knife. This is a blade length of 2.39 inches. Now it does snap open. It's snappy. I can't, with a knife this size, it's just too small. I have a hard time with it just doesn't feel right in hand to do the top flipper. So I just use the thumb studs. But other than that, so what you're looking at, like I said, open or blade length 2.39 inches, closed it's 3.14 inches, which is smaller than the blade length on a lot of my knives. Overall length of 5.51 inches. So yeah, it's a really small knife, and you can see even there is nothing for that finger. Even if I get it like this and I've got my finger up here, I'm still not got a full finger grip on that. Small little blade, but it is nice and thin. So you're looking at a reverse Tonto flat ground blade that is a blade length of 0.1 inches. Like I said, flat ground, ARRPM 9. So like I said, this comes in three different, you get black, natural, and red G10. And it's got a small little deep carry pocket clip, little lanyard spot here. So let's go ahead, let's get the weight out of the way so we can talk about some other things about this. So hang on a second, let me go get the scale. And I noticed that some of you guys complained, you guys said that you couldn't see the actual weight on the scale, so I'm trying to film it at a different location here. It's a little closer. So let's see here. In grams, we'll go ahead and do grams first. On the website, they say that it is 6.5 or 65 grams? 65 grams. Okay, yeah, 65 grams, which should be 2.29 ounces, which mine doesn't do ounces that way. It does them like this. So you got 2 1/4 ounce. So yeah, I mean, that's about the same right there. That's pretty accurate. So I was just testing my scale to make sure that it was reading correctly. So let's go ahead and let's take a good close look at this. So like I said, this is This is a small little knife. It's developed by Swags, Sharpen, I can't remember what it is, Sharp and Pointy Swags or whatever it is. But at any rate, so Swags designed this. She used to work at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. It's got a nice little deep carry pocket clip if that's what you're into. I will tell you, I have an issue with this. And it has nothing to do with the knife itself. It's not a design flaw. I am a very big guy. I am 6'3". I weigh about 230, 240 pounds. I wear a size double XL glove tight on me. So triple XL glove is usually the size I prefer. When I'm working job sites, I blow the fingers out of double XL gloves. So that should give you an idea. This knife for me, it has nothing to do with it being too small, because in hand like this, I can use this. It's really comfortable for open boxes and things like that. I don't dislike this knife. I can't carry it in my front pocket. I am a big enough guy that when I have this knife in my pocket, when I sit down, it pushes it up and out of my pocket. I have 3 times in the course of carrying this knife to get ready to do this video, 3 times now I have stood up getting out of my car and heard this clatter out onto the pavement because it had worked its way up and out of my pocket. I have a small, tiny, small little flashlight that does the same thing. So what I had been doing was if you look, you can see that these screws have been screwed in and out. I took the pocket clip off and stuck it down inside my watch pocket. Also, some people call it the change pocket. That it sits really well. Now, I'm going to tell you, what I use this for predominantly was tearing down packages, opening packages. The ARRPM 9 on it, it held a really good edge. So like I said, I don't have an issue with ARRPM 9, but it is a budget steel. It might not be the choice for you. I can't do the top flipper real well. I don't like most top flippers, but I like the fact that it has thumb studs. It does have thumb studs that I can use. The liners on it, nice and polished. And since it's a small knife, Mike, I am glad that they raised that up significantly, because that is small enough that for me, I just absolutely have to put my fingernail in there to do that. It's just too small of an area for me to get my big monstrosities of fingers down in there. Now, when it's open and you're using it, it cuts like a dream because it's a really nice flat ground blade. And that reverse Tonto gives it kind of a flair. It's one of the things that kind of appeals to me about this knife is I mean, you can see it. That little geometric shape there at the top. It's got enough belly for anything you'd really want to do. It's got a nice enough point for anything, like if you're cutting into packages and you need to pierce and then cut around something. It works really well. So all in all, it's not a bad little knife. It's just not a knife I would carry very much because I have so many other knives. So let's go ahead and let's get a size comparison. So I was thinking about things. Now this is the only reason I'm doing this is because it's in my pocket. So this is the Ferrum Forge Buck. And as you can see, the Buck is not that big of a knife. This thing is tiny, tiny little diminutive knife. Let's see, I have my Rhea over here. We'll take a look at it next to the CJRB Rhea, which is not a big knife at all either. And it's still dwarfed in comparison. Do a little, so you can see it there. And of course, the one that will usually be the go-to for size comparisons is always the Sebenza 21, which this thing is just barely longer than the handles on my Sebenza 21. So that gives you a really good size comparison. So yeah, like I said, really nice knife. It's a unique design in the fact that this was designed by a female, and I think this was kind of made towards females. The lines on it are nice. I wish it just was not quite as fat or as short in the handle. It's not uncomfortable, but that pocket clip in my hands definitely is in a bad spot for me. That's why when I had it in my pocket, I took the pocket clip off, and it was fine. Now you can flip it left or right hand carry. I will say that you've got to screw these screws in really tight. I took the pocket clip off when I put back on. I was afraid I was going to strip the screws. They go in fairly far before they actually get you as tight as they're supposed to be. This pocket clip was all wobbly and loose, and it was 100% something I had done. So, all right, guys, let's do a quick last thoughts on this. I'll meet you guys back around. Let's turn this back around and talk about some final thoughts. So guys, like I said, I said that designed by a woman for a woman. I don't honestly know if that was her thought, but this would be, like my wife said, she's like, that's a knife that she would carry. My wife does not like thumb stud knives though, so this would be a no-go for her. Like I said, action on it's really snappy for such a small knife. It's really good action. I forgot to mention, it does run on ceramic bearings. So let's go ahead and do some prices. I'll give you some prices on this. So on Artisan's website, which is usually how I base MSRP, these are $45.69 on Artisan. Knife Center has the black version for $34.97. That's the cheapest I found this knife, because the other two are the red and the natural G10 are both $37.95 on Knife Center. Now, I didn't see it anywhere else, so I don't know if it just didn't get stocked or if it might be out of stock, but it didn't show up on my search, and I usually only go for the very top of the page. But I like giving you guys Knife Center just because Knife Center does give you points. I mean, it's one of the big things about it. So yeah, I mean, not a bad knife at all. This is gonna wind up being a giveaway. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. It's not gonna be this month. This month I'm giving out a feldspar. So I'm gonna film that giveaway video, hopefully sometime today, and get it out first thing tomorrow so that I can have that giveaway video out about the same time I do my usual Wednesday live feed. So yeah, guys, shirts. I don't know if you guys saw it. I shot a video with PDM. He decided that he thinks he wants merch. Full 30 says we might do PDM merch. So Full 30, the Full 30 co-branded shirts are in. These things are warm. I'm actually sweating. The only reason I still have it on is I wanted to show it to you guys. So I'm going to take this off as soon as we break from here. So yeah, guys, that's it. If you want one of these, pick them up. I would say wait, because I'm going to be giving one of these away in about a month. So, all right, guys, you take it easy. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. Try to tell me why. There is a link to the membership tab below where you can join to get exclusive content. I just filmed a really, I think, 30-minute long tutorial, sharpening tutorial for the top tier members the other day. I'm doing a giveaway this week for them of that sea snake, a redraw, because Alex actually said he didn't want his. So there's those things that you can do to help the channel. If you really like the videos, there's an applause tab below where you can donate money directly to the channel. And there's also a link to my merch store and my full30.com channel. So if you want to follow me over there, I do a little exclusive stuff. I've only done a couple things over there that are exclusives, but it's going to be fun because I now have a different set of videos that I can do that I just can't do here. So guys, take it easy. I love you. I have to get done with this. The home inspector will be here in an hour. So I love you guys. Take it easy. And I'll see you next time.